Hi, welcome. This is Dr. Christine again, and this is part 3 of our cancer story. So, starting at the hospital, we are there. It is, 3 o'clock in the morning now, and trying to get some sleep. And then we wake up the next morning, and of course, um, once again, we're dealing with something pretty difficult to handle, but somehow, I'm going to give credit to God. God is getting us through this situation somehow. So we're getting up in the morning. Colton is doing well, thankfully. And then next thing that happens is we're waiting. More test results, more doctors come in, and we're about to get some news about Colton's diagnosis. And so we again, they confirmed the diagnosis, and essentially, now the doctor is going to talk to us. It's a new doctor, so there's a bunch of people coming in, so it's kind of, there's a lot of doctors and medical professionals. It feels a bit much, but we're still. My husband is now there. He comes in the morning, and that's great. I feel much more supported at this point, and so it's always better when you can have another person there with you. Obviously, I haven't slept at all. I'm tired. We're trying to figure out who we need to tell at this point for support. I believe so. We may. We're going to be telling the Colton school. So we have to let them know what's going on. I am now informing a couple of friends. It's pretty hard, difficult news to talk about. So the thing that I did was, I just texted a couple of other friends and told them, hey, do you have a chance to talk? So Colton, one of Colton's best friends, and the very, very sweet friend. They've been friends for a really long time. Colton, we're very blessed to have them in our lives. And this best friend is, his mom is also at this point a very good friend, and she's recovering from cancer. So she's had her own bout with cancer, and through that we supported them through that, and now I'm gonna let her know that this is what Colton is going through, and it is I know that it's going to hit her pretty hard. So luckily she's available. We get on the phone and I share with her the news. It's shocking to her, but she is one of the most supportive, encouraging people that I know. So she came through with flying colors. She was devastated, but also extremely supportive and stayed very strong. And in fact, I will credit her. I mean, God puts people in our lives to support us, but I want to give her credit because there are days when, every day is a fight. Every day, when your child is going through something like this, you're going to wake up and it's going to hit you once again that what is going on with my life right now? I'm so discouraged. I'm once again wake up and I'm upset. I'm worried. I'm concerned. I'm praying. So it's this constant situation where we are needing people in our lives. We're needing support in our lives. We're needing God. We're needing doctors. We're needing, you're completely reliant on other people for support. So this friend came through for us the entire time. I don't even know how she did it, but she was always there for us. She was always had something encouraging to say, no matter what the situation looked like. And we had lots of ups and downs with this. As you can imagine, right? Lots of ups and downs. And there's days when there's bad news, like bad news meaning oh, your son's cancer is a higher risk than what we thought it would be. So initially, leukemia has a very high recovery rate, and it's probably in the 80 something percentage that people recover from this, which is great news. But our son did not have the regular cancer, he had a higher risk cancer. So it comes back that he's got this higher risk B cell leukemia, which that was not good news, you know. So again, there's a lot of ups and downs with this journey, and it's every day. You know, we are relying on God every day. I've never been closer to God ever before in my entire life, but when it comes to your own child, there is no one else you can rely on more than God. He's the only one that can do anything about this. I mean, yes, we have modern medicine, we have doctors, we have awesome people. You know, we are blessed enough to be able to go to probably one of the best children's hospitals in the country. It just so happened that it worked out that way. So that gave us a lot of confidence, knowing that we're at least getting the best care that we can possibly get. But in the end, who's got all of the control? It's God. God's got all of the control. And that's my perspective, is I'm going to go to the one with all the control. I'm going to go to the doctors. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to, you know, be very grateful for what doctors can do, but doctors are only human. And this is a situation that requires human help, but it also requires God's help. It requires something supernatural to be happening. And I felt that from the very beginning. So I'm just sharing, you know, my perspective on this whole thing. But we get the news, and the doctor sits down with us. Colton this is the same week, the first week, and the doctor tells us it's going to be a few weeks. Right? So initially, when you get a diagnosis like this, you have a lot of questions, but there's a lot that comes out as they do tests. So there's, you know, the initial thing is, there's, you know, he's got like more, you know, there's chances, sorry, kind of getting my words all mixed up here, but it was lower risk than in the beginning, and then they found out that it was a higher risk cancer, and so that was hard news to hear. So then what's the road to recovery at this point? And we're grateful because at least there is a road to recovery. So the doctor sits down with us for a very serious conversation. He's got this huge notebook of information, and we go through it, and it's what appears to be weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of chemo, and then into years of maintenance and of chemo and things like that. And so we're happy that there's treatment, but we're not happy because we thought, you know, little did we know. We didn't know anything. So we thought, okay, I mean, what does the treatment look like? Is it 2 weeks? Is it a month? No, it's like years. It's months and then years. So that was not good news for us. And so, of course, I've got my 2 friends now that know, and I've got, you know, some other people also that know. I've told some people from other friends from Colton's school, and they're extremely, extremely supportive. That was the one thing that I know that we needed during that time, and it basically kept us from crumbling. So that's it was extremely important to receive that help from them, and all of the encouraging words. So all the text messages that came in, all of the people that said, what can we do? They offered a meal train. There were people that helped us set up a donation site so that, you know, it could cover any, you know, some extra costs beyond what the insurance didn't pay. We didn't even know what we were going to have to pay out of pocket, and turns out it's an extremely expensive journey. So we had no idea, but we already had people saying, hey, we want to help. What can we do? And so we are so just incredibly floored by all of the people who came to our assistance, all of the people who shared their hearts with us, who were also devastated, people that we knew very well and people that we didn't know very well. And so God gave us a lot of what we didn't even know we needed all of this, but we did. So the doctor sits us down, and there's a lot to go through, and we think Colton is over there. He's got his gaming computer. We set him up because we knew it was going to be a while. So now our brains are trying to process this huge change that just has occurred in our lives. It's huge. We don't even, so one thing at a time is all we can handle at this time. And so so that we meet with the doctor, and he's saying, okay, well, it's going to be about 4 weeks before he can get out of the hospital. So now we have to get the idea on our minds that he's going to be at the hospital for a month. So in our minds, we're thinking, okay, well, maybe he can do some homework, he can get some work done or whatever. I mean, we're still absorbing all of this information. And, when everything flips upside down, your thoughts don't flip upside down with it. You're still thinking along the lines of where you were at before. So we were thinking, when's he going to be able to get back to school? I mean, is it 2 weeks? Is it more than that? Well, turns out it's a lot more than that. And we had no idea, but that was good that we didn't know that. It's, so the doctors, I could tell what they were trying to do is just give us a little bit of information, at a time, mercifully, just, kind of guiding us through what needed to happen in that moment or that week, that type of thing. Because you really can't psychologically take in more than that. And I think that, the doctors, it's a great hospital. They've been, they have many patients there that go through this, and they just seem to know how to do this. So that was what happened. And so we went through a notebook full of information and all of the chemotherapy that our 12 or 11-year-old, sorry, he's going to be 12 soon, but he was just turned 11 back then. So what our 11-year-old was going to have to go through. So, it's a lot of chemotherapy and a lot of side effects, and potentially he could have some cognitive difficulties afterwards. He's going to lose his hair. He's going to have, nausea. He's going to have all of the symptoms that come along with chemotherapy. He's going to feel weak. He's going to not quite be himself for a bit. And there are phases of the chemotherapy. I forget what they call them, but it's blocks. They call them blocks. So then the first block is like intense chemotherapy to get him down to 0% leukemia, or somewhere close to that. And then the next phase is kind of like the intermediate leukemia, or the intermediate chemotherapy phase. And then the last is maintenance. So maintenance would have started about 7 to 9 months after the initial diagnosis and all of the chemotherapy that he would be receiving. So as parents, we're trying to take this all in. We're still hopeful because we're like, oh, thank goodness there's something you can do about this, but then we have to prepare for the road ahead. We have to prepare our minds, prepare our thoughts for the road ahead. And so what's critical during this time is taking it one, like I keep saying, one step at a time, one thing at a time, one moment at a time. Try not to, we tried not to think too far ahead. And then having people pray for us, having God sort of at the center of it all, allowed us to have a peace about this process. Otherwise, it would be way too much for anyone to handle. So so that's it for the time that I have for today. And what I would say to pass on to you guys for today is once again staying very close to God during this time. staying very grateful to the people and the support that are there for you or for us. We were very extremely grateful, very thankful, constantly thanking people because we truly felt so grateful. We truly felt like, I can't believe all of these people are willing to be there for us, are willing to, check in with us on a regular basis. Hey, how are you doing today? What's going on? What can I do to help? And that meant everything to us at that time. So God gives us things that we don't even know that we need. We kept praying, kept coming to God, kept reading out of the Bible, kept allowing God to give us peace, minister to us. So when I would look in the Bible and I would ask God, can you give me some hope? God did give us a lot of hope. So that will be in the next video. Stay tuned for part 4, because I'm going to go through some of the supernatural situations that had happened, and we'll go through all of that next time. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.